Welcome to the WanderLearn show. I'm your host, Tapon. In this episode, I have Matt Halterman, who's the author of Beautiful Hungry Animals. It's a book about going vegan. Now, before you run away, I encourage you to listen to all 4 episodes of this series because he approaches the whole issue in a very unique and different way, and that's what makes it so compelling of an argument and a discussion, should I say. And don't forget also to go to patreon.com/ftapon to pick up some remarkable rewards. They're really fun rewards. My favorite one is just $2 a month. That's it. And you're going to get my book as I write it, and it's a great way to give feedback on the book. You're going to get advanced copies of the book. And then I have many other rewards. I have one that's for $25 a month. You get $300 worth of gifts at the end of the year. And these are real physical objects, whatever you want, basically almost anything you want on Amazon, more or less. These are some of the cool rewards. And at that same time, you're helping me go forward. So most people say, hey, give me $25 a month and then I'll just give you my smile. No, I'm actually sending $300 worth of products at the end of the year. Thanks for tuning in. I'm here with the author of a fantastic book that's about going vegan for those who are vegan curious. I highly recommend it. It's Hungry, Beautiful Animals. And I'm here with the author, Matt Halterman. And I wanted to ask you, Matt, about the concerns that some people say, you know what, I know it's the right thing to do, vegan, and I don't want to hurt animals. And I don't want to contribute to the slaughtering of animals and the way they're raised and all that stuff. But I read that a pescatarian diet is the best diet around there because Japanese live the longest, and so therefore that's probably the best diet for Homo sapiens. Point A. Point B, other people say, you need complete protein, and plants don't provide complete proteins. That's 2. And 3, other people say you need vitamin B12, and it's very hard to get B12. Do you get what? Supplements? And other things people say, you need animal protein because it's just different, magical than plant protein. And that there's no society. And finally, the final point is that there's never been a vegan society out there that we can show that these guys live to 100 years old because no society on earth is vegan. These are all claims I've heard thrown around. And I want you to address kind of like the health issues. Like there's the moral component, but then there's like, what if I don't have any morals? I don't really care, and I just want to eat the healthiest thing. Veganism to be vegan doesn't sound like the right answer if I want to be optimize health over and forget about morals. Put those aside. What's your response to all these things I've just said?
Yeah. So the first thing I want to say, right, is that as my kids sometimes quip, I'm a doctor, but not the kind of doctor that helps people, right? So I have a PhD, not an MD. And so the first thing I want to say in humility is just that I am not qualified to offer anything like professional nutritional advice, right? And in the book, one of the things I say very clearly from the get-go is I'm going to leave the nutritional case to the experts. Having said that, we live at a thrilling time for the health case for going vegan, right? Because I think the evidence is compelling that you can get everything you need from going vegan. And in addition to getting everything you need, not only is going vegan nutritionally adequate for every, moment of the of the human lifespan, it's safe for pregnant women, it's safe for lactating women, it's safe for infants and safe for young children. And not only, right, is it nutritionally adequate, but beyond that, it can actually prevent and even reverse certain diseases that we've come to call diseases of affluence, right? Diseases from overindulging in cheap animal products that are high in fat, right? And too much protein, it turns out, that can really lead to cancer and other sorts of problems, hypertension and the like. The best place to go to get a great handle on the layman's case for the nutritional adequacy and health benefits of going vegan is Dr. Michael Greger's nutritionfacts.org. So for all of the issues that you mentioned in terms of, right, like getting adequate protein, is it a complete protein? What about B12 and et cetera? Any veg curious person who has the slightest doubt, right, about nutritional adequacy can go to nutritionfacts.org, where all of the evidence, I mean, Michael Greger and his team do one thing and one thing only, and that's look at all the nutrition science research up to the minute and then make evidence-based, right, videos about, right, what the current state of nutrition science is telling us. And so you could go to that website, you could search to your heart's content about whatever keywords, right, are your bugaboos. And I'll tell you, Michael Greger's got an answer. If you're not an internet person, he's got 3 books, right? One is called How Not to Die. Then that focuses on how going vegan can help to prevent and reverse diseases of affluence. One is called How Not to Diet, which takes you through how to eat in steady ways that don't involve, right, deprivation and all manner of other toggling around to the latest fad. And then one called How Not to Age, which is focused on how food can be our medicine for staying and feeling and acting, right, youthfully, given, the physical bodies that we've been blessed with. So for the nutrition case, Dr. Michael Greger is the place that I send people generally. But I always like to emphasize that when we're thinking about health, to me, it makes sense to pull back the lens a little bit and get a wider scope on what we mean by health. Because on my view, health goes beyond just nutritional adequacy, right? To really live fulfilled, joyful lives, we need inner health and harmony across those different parts of who we are. And so not only do I think, right, going vegan is healthful for, living a good life, meeting one's nutritional needs, insulating one from various health risks and the like. I think it could also lead to inner harmony in our emotional and social and intellectual and moral lives that it's really, really hard to achieve with any other approach, right, to eating. And so I think, nutritionally, I think the case is very, very strong. But beyond just nutrition, to a wider vision of what human health looks like, I think it's even better from that point of view.
Well, I really enjoyed your book. It's written with a lot of humility. It's written for the person who is an omnivore, who is curious about veganism, being a vegan, and I think that's what makes it's such a strong book. It's compelling. You're not going in there writing a book for other vegan people, and it's not. It's mainly, and it's approaching in a way that's very compassionate. You understand when you're writing there. You address the issue of like, how do this is your comfort. Most people have comfort food. That's one of the things I fascinate me in travels is that no matter where I go, people love their food. And like to me, Eastern European food is really not that good. But talk to an Eastern European, it's the best. Borscht is like the best food ever. Like, okay, so for you to take away, not you, but for a vegan to take away their comfort food, the food that they grew up with, is really hard. And you address that issue and many other issues in the book in a very compassionate, sensitive way, and a very understanding way. That going back to like this principle that we are all flawed people. We all have great aspirations of being the best person we can be, and we miserably fall short most of the time. And that's okay. Just let's keep, trying to go in the right direction, and we'll do our best. So for that, I really commend you, Matt, for your outstanding book, and I hope it moves forward the conversation so that people can look at vegan in a different way.
Yeah. Well, Francis, it's been a real joy to be here, and I think leading with compassion. I mean, look, compassion liberates and encourages and heals, and condemnation shames and blames and discourages. So I think, whenever we're talking about transformation, leading with condemnation makes no sense at all. Right. And so I'm glad that spirit of compassion came through in your reading. And I just can't thank you enough for sharing your audience with me. And I do encourage anyone who is, enjoying this conversation, to check out the website, hungrybeautifulanimals.com, read the book. And I love to get emails from readers and students. That's my favorite thing to do, right, is to continue the conversation that we started. So I hope that this wonderful opportunity you've given me will bear lots and lots of fruit for future conversation and the delight of meeting and talking with new people on the journey. So thank you so much.
Thank you. And I encourage people to go to links down below. It'll point to his website, to the Amazon page if you want to get it from there. You can sample the book, read the first few pages for free on Amazon. And anyway, fantastic. Thank you, Matt, again, and we'll be in touch.
Great. Thanks so much.
And that ends this episode of the WanderLearn podcast, where we explore travel, technology, and transformation. If you'd like to see the show notes with links to what we've talked about, go to wanderlearn.com and click on this episode. If you'd like to connect with me, just remember Tapon. That's my first initial and my last name. Tapon is always my social media username. My website is ftapon.com. Do you want to leave me an anonymous voicemail where you can make a comment or ask a question? Then go to speakpipe.com/ftapon. Furthermore, if you'd like to get rewarded for supporting my projects, then go to patreon.com/ftapon. That's where you can pick up some remarkable rewards for as little as $2 a month. Now, 5 quick favors. Number 1, subscribe to the WanderLearn podcast. 2, download it. 3, share it. 4, review it. And 5, sign up for my newsletter at wanderlearn.com. Our theme music was composed by Eric Stratman. This is Francis Tapon, encouraging you to wander and learn.